Welcome to the latest edition of the LL Spring Sports Roundtable, brought to you by Substitute Teachers Service. He's Jeff Reinhardt. I'm Mike Gross. We've got 6 spring sports to talk about, and the most decisive stuff is happening in tennis. So Let's start with that. Jeffrey.
Can do. Okay, more medals and trophies handed out in tennis. Good stuff. They're deep into the postseason now on the tennis courts. Okay, from the top, LL League singles, doubles, finals last week. There was some weather involved. I think they had to go to
there's a whole weather thing
with tennis. I think they had to go indoors for a couple of rounds. I'm not sure, but it got done. Here's your champs. AAA singles. Cooper Lehman, Hempfield.
God love him.
Defends his title as a sophomore. Won it as a freshman. Won it again. Beat Byseth Meng from Cedar Crest. Great name. 6-2, 7-5. Cooper Lehman, Hempfield repeats 3A singles champ. AA champ, Niall Abadir wins again. He successfully defends his title, beats a teammate, Michael Georgelis, 6-4, 7-6.
I'd like to see the AA champion and the AAA champion play each other.
That would be something else, wouldn't
given
it?
That this is an individual sport.
I wonder if they must have played, because Hempfield played Country Day in a non-league match. I don't know who won that off the top of my head. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, that'd be interesting. Why not?
Anyway.
Lancaster Country Day will be the theme here, as you'll see. So Abadir wins. Doubles, 3A. Meng turns around and plays with teammate Charlie Robbins from Cedar Crest. And they beat the Shkreli brothers, Rocco and Joe, for the 3A title. Love it. So Crest against Crest in the 3A doubles finals. 2A doubles finals. Country Day against Country Day. Repeat, Abadir and Freddie Bloom. They win. They beat teammates Carson Weigel and Michael Georgelis, 6-2, 6-4. Abadir and Bloom repeat as champs. So big tournament for Country Day. They won the team championship the week before. Abadir repeats in singles. Abadir and Bloom repeat in doubles. On deck, busy week coming up for tennis. The team championship starts the next week out. Cedar Crest, number 1 seed in 3A. They host Wilson, Manheim Township at Southwestern, LS at Dallastown. AA, Lancaster Country Day, defending team champ, number 1 seed. They will host Kutztown, Pequea Valley at Wyomissing in another first rounder. District 3 singles tournament. AAA, Lehman is the defending champ. Hempfield, he's the 1 seed. Abadir is the defending champ in 2A. He is the number 1 seed. Last tennis note for you. Dale Gregg, long time Conestoga Valley coach.
Your name.
He's been there forever. He's retiring. His first season coaching at CV was the year after I graduated from CV. So he's been there.
That's a veteran coach.
That is a veteran coach. I think
that is a veteran performer.
Yes, 35 years I want to say. So I've known Dale Gregg forever. He's
Dale.
coached boys. He's coached girls. He always coordinates the league all-stars, and CV hosts a lot of stuff over there at their great courts. So he's always been mega involved with LL tennis. So Dale Gregg, end of the line at CV. Congrats on a great career, Mr. Gregg.
Boom.
Yes.
I'm going to start with baseball. Remember how last week we said that there has been separation and clarity in these section races?
Yes.
Forget I said that.
Take it all back.
Yeah, I take all of that back. At least in sections 1 and 2 of LL baseball. Township beat Hempfield last night. They are now a game behind in the loss column.
Wow.
And that's all of a sudden a pennant race, and they play Friday at Hempfield, the 3rd meeting, and they split the first 2. So if I have this correct, and with all the weather, the way weather has wreaked havoc, I don't want to say 100% sure, but that is a virtual section championship game, because if Township wins, they would draw even, and they would have the tiebreaker because they would have won the second of the 3 meetings. Except everybody plays Monday too, so it's not a section championship game literally, but obviously it's a very big game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what's happened in section 1. Section 2, LS cruising along. All of a sudden, lost 2 in a row.
Ooh.
They lost to Solanco and Ephrata this week, Monday and Tuesday, the last 2 days. And they are now tied with Ephrata in the loss column with 3 losses. And the team that's kind of coming out of nowhere, coming up on the backstretch here, is Elizabethtown, which has all of a sudden won 5 in a row after losing 3 in a row. And that streak includes wins over Ephrata, Penn Manor in a non-league game, and Solanco. So they're right in it, and they play LS tonight and Ephrata Monday.
Whoa.
So there's an awful lot still up in the air there. LS would win the tiebreaker with Ephrata. Okay. They're split with E-Town. So E-Town's in a pretty good spot here all of a sudden. Give them credit for, they were like around a 500 team a couple weeks ago, and they really put something together and fought their way back into it. Central, I think, has locked up Section 3 again, the logistics with the weather and everything. 2-game lead with 2 games left, and they swept Donegal, so Donegal could only tie them. Section 4, Lancaster Catholic, cruise control.
Sounds like they're dominating.
Yeah, they've won. They lost their opener and they've won 13 in a row, and a lot of blowouts. They have a quality team.
As we sit here now, who wins the whole thing? Any clue?
Well, I would still say Hempfield is the favorite, but only they have pitching depth. They have a lot of good players and a lot of good pitchers. They have sometimes they have position players who are also good pitchers, but. They're certainly not a prohibitive favorite. I think it'd be interesting to see what Lancaster Catholic can do against the big schools.
Love to see it.
And those teams in Section 2 are playing well right now. Central, obviously, playing very well right now. Beat Donegal at Clipper Magazine Stadium on Monday night behind our boy Jared Murray, who we've talked about a lot. But anyway, the regular season ends Monday, weather permitting. Quarterfinals of the league playoffs are Thursday. We'll get into that in detail next week. And they are at the home field of the section champs. The semifinals are next Saturday, a week from now, at Ephrata. And then on Monday, the following, which would be the 15th, championship game at Clipper Magazine Stadium. So things have gotten a little frantic in baseball, and there's a lot to be determined between now and Monday.
Nice. Should be interesting. There's going to be a third place team that's not going to make LLs.
Yep.
That could that's going to go do damage in a month.
Certainly in section 2, one of those 3 teams that I talked about, LS, Ephrata, E-Town, is going to be out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Let's volley, my man.
Let's volley. Okay, we're approaching the finish line in volleyball. Another week to go. Matches Thursday of this week, and then next week I think it's Monday, Wednesday, and then the LL tournament gets started. Section 1, Warwick closing in on the title here. Warriors are 10-0 with a great win over Hempfield on Tuesday. I'll get to that in a minute. Cedar Crest, safe on the 2 line. They're 7-2. They still have 3 more matches to go. Hempfield 6-4, Conestoga Valley 5-4. Long shots. Warwick's going to clinch this sucker. Crest looks safe for the 2 line and a playoff spot. Unbelievable match on Tuesday night at Hempfield. Warwick and Hempfield, old rivals, best rivalry in the league for my money right now. Great match. Hempfield wins the 4th set to force a 5th. Hempfield leads in the 5th, 14-12, has a couple of match points. Warwick calls timeout. They come out of the timeout. Boom. Hitting error, kill, tie. Another kill. Kyle Charles wins it. Great comeback. Warwick goes to 10-0, and they beat Hempfield and all but knock out the Knights here for the LL playoffs. I don't think Hempfield's ever missed the LL playoffs since the inception of the league.
Well, we've talked a lot about this. It's a little bit of a down year by Hempfield standards.
Yeah.
But they must have came up pretty big in this match.
Oh, absolutely.
And they must be playing well now.
They're playing really great right now. They had that goofy 1-3 stretch. Then they won 2 in a row. They went to the state college tournament last weekend with loaded. All the top 10 teams in the state were there. Hempfield gets to the championship pool, goes 4-0, gets to the finals, runs into North Allegheny, which has won however many state titles in a row here now, and lost to NA. But they got to the finals of the state college.
So they might be a live district.
Look out for Hempfield.
Yeah.
Look out for Hempfield. They're definitely playing better. They're smarting because they lost 3 out of 4. but the match Tuesday was just great. It was great Hempfield, Warwick, old school rivalry match. Fantastic. Okay, big matches coming up on the horizon, both next week. Cedar Crest at Hempfield and CV at Cedar Crest. We'll see if Crest can hold those two off and clinch that second seed and make the LL playoffs. Section 2, Manheim Central still in charge. Barons 10-0, pushed to a fourth against Ephrata on Tuesday, which opened some eyes, but Barons won. They're 10-0, Garden Spot's 8-1, E-Town 6-3, Cocalico 5-4, both hanging around, but it's Central's to win, Garden Spot's to get no worse than second. Next week in the season finale, Garden Spot at Manheim Central. That could be for the section title, Central outright or a split. Big match on Thursday. I'll be at this. See you in New Holland. Cocalico at Garden Spot on Thursday. Key match. Spot needs to win to stay in second. Cocalico needs a win for districts to get in the 2A field. That'll be really interesting. Speaking of districts, real quick, Warwick right now is number 1 in 3A. They'd be the 1 seed. 2A, Manheim Central's 3rd. Garden Spot is 4th. Manheim Central 3rd in the state rankings. They've been on the 3 line now for several weeks. Warwick bumped up from 9 to 8 in the state rankings this week, and they might go up even more after that win over Hempfield on Tuesday. You can see the finish line here in volleyball. Playoffs get started a week from Friday.
All right. Okay, let's go softball. This is going to be pretty brief. Sections 2, 3, and 4. It's dominant teams. Solanco in 2, Donegal in 3, Northern Lebanon in 4. They have combined. They have 1 section loss. Those 3 teams. They are. Donegal's 15-2, Solanco 11-1, Northern Lebanon 13-2. They're cruising. A little bit. Solanco and Northern Lebanon a little bit hurt by the section they're in for district points and stuff, but those teams have been in control for a while, and they've got their sections locked up. Section 1 has, again, as in baseball, it's gotten a little bit more interesting. Warwick, which was cruising along, lost to Hempfield on Monday. Now they got a really good 3-2 win over Penn Manor on Tuesday, and they still have a 2-game lead in the loss column over Hempfield. But both of their losses in the section are to Hempfield. So if there would be something crazy would happen in the last couple days here, going into Monday, the regular season finale, Hempfield is still a little bit alive. Now here's the thing: Warwick played Monday, Tuesday. They will play Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday.
Wow.
So their pitching is going to be their pitching, and just their mental and physical resolve will be tested by that stretch a little bit.
Yeah, that's a lot of softball.
So that's the thing. Softball, again, let's look at the league playoffs. They're coming next Friday, the quarterfinals at the home field of the section champions, and then the semifinals Monday, May 15th, and the final Wednesday, the 17th. Are at Miller's, the really nice facility at Miller's.
That is a cool park.
Yeah,
that's a fun place to watch a game.
Interesting. So that's all.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do the lacrosses, girls and boys.
Okie dokie.
GLACs first. Manheim Township's wrapping up Section 1 here. 8-0 at midweek. Hempfield with a couple of losses, both to Township. Both of those teams will make the LA League playoffs as the 1 and the 2. Township has 2 interesting non-league games to finish up. Wanted to mention this. They play Penn Charter and they play Radnor. So the Streaks are looking to beef up the non-league to get ready, because that's been their bugaboo. They kind of win everything around here, and then they get to states.
Yeah.
They've been to the finals, but they haven't gotten over
regional
that hump.
Pockets of power,
Yes.
like there are in a lot of sports.
And they're playing a couple of Philly area teams here down the stretch. Section 2 also decided. LS 10-0, champs. Cocalico 8-2. So Township, Hempfield, LS, Cocalico will be in the LL semifinals. That's May 16th. Here's the matchups. At Conestoga Valley, Hempfield against LS at 5:30. Manheim Township against Cocalico in the nightcap at 7:30. As far as the regular season goes, LS 253 goals, which is staggering.
Not
And this Rowan Kimball kid just continues to turn heads. 62 goals, leads the league. Stay tuned for girls lax LL semifinals. Township's 1 and Hempfield's 2 in 3A districts. LS is 3 in 2A. So that's on the horizon. Okay, boys lacrosse. Section 1 decided. Township still has a couple of league games to go, but they got the tiebreaker over Hempfield. So it's Township and Hempfield. Streaks 8-0. Hempfield 8-2. Township still has to play Cedar Crest and CV to wrap up their league play, but they're good. They'll be in. Section 2, Cocalico 9-0. They'll be the Section 2 champs. LS at 8-2. They'll also get in. Cocalico still has a match against Gardenspot to wrap up their section schedule. May 16th, boys lacrosse semifinals, both at Ephrata. Hempfield against Cocalico at 5, LS against Manheim Township in the nightcap at 7. Fun stat of the week, Cocalico 222 goals scored. Dolan Burns 38 goals, Evan Yunt 37 goals to lead the Eagles. Districts, Cocalico's number 1 in 2A, Township's number 1 in 3A. Lax playoffs right around the corner.
Lax Mania. I'm feeling it. Okay, let's look at track. Let's look at track. I'm looking at my notes of track here, and I'm seeing times and stuff, and my mind is boggled. I hope I can wade through this. I want to start with a couple of kids I want to mention.
Yeah.
We've kind of focused on exceptional kids here throughout the spring. A kid named Aiden Hodge, who's a distance runner for Hempfield. We have not talked a lot about distance runners at all. This kid's going to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big time. He's going to the SEC for track. His 1600 time 4:12.5. That's the best in the LL. His 800 and 3200. He just set the school record in the 800, and he's just a couple of seconds off the best time in the state. I looked at those numbers today, and he's not too far off in the 1600. He was second in the league in cross country.
Yes.
He also runs the 3200. He probably will be the favorite if you can do all three of those. I don't know if you can do all three of those. I mean, I'm sure you could, Rhines, but it's tough to do at a high level. But anyway, this is a kid who has had an outstanding career and seems to be like he's peaking at the right time when the big stuff is happening. And so Aiden Hodge, respect to that dude. Another kid, this is a freshman from Cedar Crest.
Okay.
Believe it or not, they have another freshman, not the sprinter.
Not the Howard
This
girl.
kid's name is Elena Schneider. She's number 1 in the league in the javelin by like 9 feet.
Whoa.
Which is substantial. It's not huge in the javelin, but it's big. And she also is 4th in the league in the 1600.
Interesting.
3rd in the league in the high jump.
Wow. That's an interesting combo.
And she's on that 4x800 relay team.
With Howard.
What an odd mixture of, and again, this is a freshman. Elena Schneider, pretty interesting kid, also a cross-country runner. And by the way, these relay teams, McCaskey girls, best in the state in the 4x100, best in the state in the 4x400, and second in the 4x800. And Cedar Crest is not far behind them in the 4x800. Now that leads me to the other thing I want to say about track, which is the season is kind of ending in a weird way. The Lebanon County meet was supposed to be last week. Rained out. They're going to run that on Thursday, tomorrow as I speak, at Cedar Crest, a 4:30 start, and they're going to get the whole thing in. They're going to go under the lights and go as long as they have to go.
That'll be cool.
To get it in. That's going to be a one-day thing. And then we've talked all spring about this Cedar Crest McCaskey dual meet.
Yes.
That is Monday at McCaskey. Now, McCaskey has on the schedule a non-league dual meet with Westchester Henderson on Friday. Okay? And then next week, 2 Fridays from now, is the league meet. So these two coaches, Rob Baer and Derek Jennings for Cedar Crest and McCaskey, have a lot of interesting decisions to make about who do you save, who do you rest, how do you put your relay teams together? Are we trying to win the Lebanon County meet? Are we trying to, of course they're going to try to win that dual meet, but keep everybody fresh for the stuff that really matters on an individual level starting a week 5 days away from that Cedar Crest
Track
strategy,
Track,
tracks
yeah.
X's and O's. I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting, and that will play out before your eyes over the next couple of days.
Yes.
And again, tomorrow, that Lebanon County meet should be pretty interesting.
Track under the lights.
Under the lights.
You don't see that around
under the lights
here.
at Cedar Crest High School. Yeah.
We mentioned All-State girls basketball last week with the 5 kids making it. All-State boys comes out, and you chaired that. I don't know how you do that with your time, but tell
I don't know
us.
how I do it either, and I just did it. Yeah.
Seriously, bunch of local guys made
Yeah, I
it.
just want to mention the Lancaster Lebanon League guys who made All-State. Let's start with the Lancaster Mennonite guys because they won a state championship
champs.
in Class 2A. Camden Hurst, first team All-State, and this is the third time he's made an All-State team.
Good for
What
him.
a career. And David Weaver, the 6'7" center for Mennonite, made the second team. And Seth Buckwalder, our buddy, is the 2A state coach of the year.
That's awesome. After
After leading the Blazers to that state title. All right. In 1A, Daniel King of Linville Hill made the second team. In 5A, Trey Grube of Manheim Central made the second team. In 6A, Miguel Pena of Hempfield made the third team. And in 4A, 2 guys from Octorara.
Beautiful.
Elijah Hamilton made the second team, I think for the second straight year.
Sounds
I'm
right.
pretty sure. And Zach Kirk, who is a junior, who really kind of ran their show as Hamilton was out this year with injury. He made the third team. So that's a total of 7 guys making All-State and a coach of the year. Pretty good haul.
Yeah, great basketball season all around. Yeah, I think we
absolutely.
can finally put a cap on it now. I still don't have it completely out of my system, but
Well, all we can do is time. You just got to take your time. Right?
Yeah.
You'll get past it.
yes,
All right. Folks, that's it.
good stuff.
Spring Sports Roundtable brought to you by Substitute Teacher Service. He's Jeff Reinhardt, and I'm Mike Gross. See you later.